Good day. It's Tuesday, October 17th. This is the show where we predict markets early in the morning and we come back at 1 p.m. to tell you how we're doing. So we're going to get to these in a second. Look at POWW DRIO, CYBR, Dollar Tree, LMT. Those were our top 5 picks. Another day where a number 1 pick, look at that, POWW up 6%. And we do this by considering sentiment, catalysts, fundamentals, and technicals holistically, and man, does it work really, really well. But first, let's look at the macro, because some very interesting price action today that can make you think, is the market trying to form a bottom here? So let me see why I'm thinking that possibly. All right. This morning we talked about TLT and how, look, TLT was down this morning, and the danger was if TLT gets to a low, right? The low was 84.06. Right, we had the same concern back on this day here, October 10th, when we gapped down big. And we said the same thing. If it gets to a new low, then all bets are off. On both of these days, these are open red candle days. TLT was actually up all day, and the market's been ripping on days like this. Or there's fear in the bond market, but the bond market holds its own, does not hit new lows, and that's been a catalyst for the market to make upward moves. All right. So that's very significant in and of itself. But then also, let's look at some stocks. Like let's look at some charts. IWM is over the 20 DMA for the first time in a long time. Now, it's had a couple fake outs before, but still, it doesn't mean it's going to necessarily fake out now. This is not the only 20 DMA chart I'm looking at. There's other ones. Let's see. Let's look at end phase. There's a lot of charts today over long-term moving averages. End phase making a big move today above the 50-day moving average. All right. Let's take a look at another one. Overstock. First time it's over the 20 DMA in like a long time. Long time. Okay. There's a lot of charts that look like this. There's risk assets look like they're trying to form a bottom. Look at talk here. It bouncing off the 20, not quite at the highs, but a very powerful move today. So it's basically the market saying, all right, TLT looked really bearish this morning. People are trying to crash the market, but it held its own. We're not getting to new lows, and that's been the catalyst for the market to move on up. So listen, I've been bearish because of TLT. I've been bearish because of the war, but I'm starting to change my mind today. This is some really powerful moves, some big moving averages on a lot of stocks. It's starting to look really good looking. So I think we're going to be adjusting how we handle this going forward. We're kind of, I don't want to say bullish a war, but we think, a regional war could break out. And maybe the way to play that is simply war stocks and oil and things like that, and not really shorting the market. The market might just go up during a war. It does. We hear about that. We always hear about things like that can happen. Initial reaction is often down, but usually wars are stimulative for the economy. So, between TLT not hitting new lows and a lot of stocks and a lot of indices looking really good on a day like this, I'm starting to change my mind. I'm starting to think it's possible the market is trying to form a bottom here. All right. So that's a big picture perspective. So let's go to our morning show. And, I say this time and time again, but man, I wish we should only trade our number 1 stock. It's ridiculous. We're talking about over 90% of the time now, over 90% of the time, the number one pick of the day closes higher than it opens, and usually in big percentages. Look at POWW, up 6% on our 9 a.m. show. It was like 255. Why don't we only play it's just hard. It's hard to say I'm only playing one stock today, man. But the data is showing this is the way to do it, man. Unbelievable. If some of you viewers are doing this, congratulations. We've been talking about it for ourselves, but it's been hard to execute, to focus on just one stock. I mean, there's so much going on and you feel like you're missing other opportunities, but every single day, and you see the hard work and analysis we put in this show at 9 a.m. I do it live. I go through the logic and the reasoning with you in real time, and almost every single time, the stock right at the top of the list has an absurdly good day. It's really freaking ridiculous. So I'm like, I'm proud of myself, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, like we lost some money on Lockheed today, the number 5 pick of the day. You can see very hard to trade Lockheed Martin today, right? So while we're making money on POW, it's being taken away in some different places. Like we're in some SWBI today. You can see it's down today. We're in POW. It's our largest position because it's our number 1 pick. But man, it's just uncanny how this works. Let's go down. All right, let's look at the charts now. POWW 261 was the resistance level I saw, and we're above it. Above this 261, you got to go back a whole year to find it. It's right here, okay? 261 right here. Guess what's above it? Nothing. Sky blue. This could be heading to 3. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen today or tomorrow because we are focused more on day trading. By the end of the day, we're probably going to sell at least some of our shares. We do have an allocation to swing some. I really do think it's headed to 3. The question is when. If it breaks down below 260 today, then maybe can invalidate the thesis technically. But as long as we're riding up here and we're above 261, and the thesis, we went through it on guns and ammunition, this is a really good story, and I think it's headed to $3. All right? Don't know if it's today, though. That's POWW. DRIO, our number 2 pick of the day. So we made a little bit of money. It hit our target already. Oh, can you believe it? There it is, that moving average, 50 DMA. We sold a little bit short of that. Not to the penny, we got it. The problem with this is we just couldn't get enough size. I didn't want to pay up. I didn't want to chase it. So we bought a little bit of 270 in the morning. Small size, made a few $100, something like that. But in retrospect, should have gotten more. They had really, really good data here. Maybe I should have chased it into the mid-270s. Awesome data coming out this morning. 36% reduction in 30-day hospital readmission rate for DRIO users with type 2 diabetes. Starting at 11 a.m., they had an investor day, which may still be ongoing. Actually, it looks like it is. Yes, it is still ongoing. It looks like I was very impressed, man. This investor day reminds me of the investor day for CTLP, okay, which I was very impressed by, meaning very professional, a lot of really good data being shared, a lot of great speakers. CTLP, speaking of CTLP, nice move, another stock, nice move over the 50 DMA today. But CTLP, man, where was it? I think it was here. It must have been here, right? This big spike, and then this big, or maybe it was here when the investor day was. We'd have to go back and look at when that investor is. Probably here, because I don't think it pulled back after investor day. I think it just went straight up. Yeah, it must have been this move here. If it's not, it's in a different similar area on the chart where it was just up day after day after day after their investor day. The kind of professionalism and the data being shared on this DRIO investor day reminds me of how impressed I was with the CTLP investor day, but admittedly, I'm not able to focus on doing a lot of other stuff, so I can't hear everything. All right, I just heard bits and pieces here, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and look really good. And so DRIO, short-term resistance here, right at the 50 DMA. Man, we'll see if the markets do somehow bottom in the middle of a potentially regional war. Then hopefully things will work out for DRIO. But for right now, the play, as far as I'm concerned, the play's over for today. Right, 50 DMA. All right. Cyber, we couldn't, number 3 pick, but we just couldn't get it, man. We tried. We wanted to do this with options, and we just couldn't get in. So let's just look at the chart. So if you played it, great. All right. It was just not liquid and whatever. We just couldn't get in. And you see it going up on the catalyst this morning. A nice price target upgrade. JP Morgan, overweight from neutral. Nice big price target. It was like 200 from 180, something like that. Cyber defense. the war. This is in a way also war play, cybersecurity. There's already been hackings. There's going to be more probably if this conflict escalates regionally and throughout the world. So CYBR, that was why we had it, is our number 3 pick. And okay, so we didn't play, but let's see how it's looking. Let's look at the charts over here. What is the top of these candles right here? What's the close? 172.94 and 173 was the high. So around 173. Ooh, look at that. Would that be a 52-week high? Would that be an all-time high? No, it's a 52-week high. But I would say Cyber has a target of 173. Swing target of 173. Again, not sure if it gets there today, but kind of kicking myself in the foot for not being aggressive at the open on call options, right? We were kind of looking for a price rather than buying at market. And I guess we did that because it was our number 3 pick of the day, not our number 1 pick. Dollar Tree, we did get this at the open, and that's working great. Dollar Tree, I guess, you know what? The spreads were hard. It was really hard on Cyber. Huge spreads. I didn't know where I was going to fill if I filled at market, but Dollar Tree, tight bid and asks, all right? Even on the options, we felt good. Buying options at the open on Dollar Tree. We gave you 2 targets, 114 and 120. Wow. It broke 114. Now, my buddy Rex over at Rockspear Trading is telling me 116 is the next stop. And maybe, I don't know what time frame he has in mind when he says 116. But again, this is another stock where it broke a key moving average, and 120, that 50 DMA is your swing target. I don't know if it gets there today. I suppose it's possible, unlikely. That's a big move already. All right. But so far, so good. And you see it's still riding up some of these intraday moving lines that we look at. So Dollar Tree, that one was successful for us today. So Cyber we didn't get into. POW we're doing great. DRIO, small amount we made because of small size. And LMT we lost because of this chop. Okay. So that's the LMT is difficult, man. And this morning we talked about LMT and why it would be difficult because of the previous history. This moves in strange ways after earnings. And I guess I just don't know enough about what the institutions are looking for because I'm not going to get into it. All right. I spent like 10 minutes on this morning. I literally spent like 10 minutes describing why LMT could be kind of unpredictable today. Which is why it was our number 5 pick. And I don't know, maybe we shouldn't have played it since it was our number 5 pick. Okay. In any case, a couple other stocks I want to draw to your attention. Overstock, 20 DMA break. You know what? I'll do the same thing I did for our VIPs this morning. We'll go to the chart here. We're going to go to our indicators, change the moving averages so we can focus right in on only the 20 DMA. This is amazing. Okay. So check this out. Oops. Overstock. Okay, let's go. Easy. Do you see what I see? You see how powerful this line is? It broke the 20 DMA in June of 2023. And then it just rode it up. Support right here, June 22nd. Rode it up. Support right here, July 26th. Then it broke down. All right, broke down on August 8th. And then what? Wow. Why didn't I pay attention to this line when we're in the stock at $39, right? So from like the mid 30s straight on down till yesterday. Look at this resistance to the penny. Look at this resistance to the penny. When you have these multiple touches of this line, both as support and then as resistance, that's freaking meaningful, man. So I gotta say, the next target on Overstock is $20 from a swing perspective. And I'm saying that from a perspective of being, let's forget about the world. Let's forget about geopolitics. Let's forget about bonds. Let's forget about the market. If I was looking at Overstock in a vacuum, I'd probably go in size in a swing position. I'd probably be buying call options. Look at the 1779 is an important level, though. It did break it intraday, especially if it closes above 1779, the high of October 6th. Like, man, I'm not advocating for people to do what I just said, going in size and with options and stuff like that. But the target's $20. I'm not going all the way to the 50 and 200 DMAs. I'm going by the candle supports right here from September 6th through September 15th, 20 major candle support. You can see these are declining moving averages. So that by the time it reaches 20, it very well could be that this 50 DMA will be at 20, and then you'll have a double resistance. This chart is freaking beautiful. The catalysts are all the insider buys and the activist action that's happening. So that's the story. We don't do big swing positions anymore, so we just trade this mostly day by day. We had a small swing overnight on Overstock. I guess we're going to keep a small swing on Overstock, but man, that looks gorgeous. What's going on with DRIO? All right. Okay. So another thing I want to bring to your attention, briefly talked about it this morning, Axon. Axon is now going to be on my list every day. All right. I learned about it last week, but I didn't get a chance to tell you guys about it. Now getting great price action. So Axon is a really beautiful stock to have on our watch list every day, because they have good fundamentals. When I say good, if you look at the trailing PE, it looks high, right? It's 155, but they're profitable. Okay, that's fine. They're profitable. They're not like, oh my gosh, we got to raise money. $16 billion market cap. Okay. So Axon, I'll repeat my little pitch I gave on it at 9 a.m. this morning. This used to be Taser, right? They sell the Taser weapons to all the police departments. Then they went into body cams, right? All those police body cams, that's coming from Axon. And then they also have evidence.com where they store all the body cam footage. All right, but here's the thing about Axon. They're also in all the defense ETFs, like Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, or RTX Corp. They're in all those ETFs for some reason, which is crazy, but they are. So when you have like a war breakout, right, Axon just explodes along with those stocks because of the power and the importance of those ETFs. That's really crazy. So you get that, but then you also get the benefit of the civil, the domestic unrest play, which is why we're in like POWW and SWBI and RGR. So this is kind of like a new stock. You call it like a hybrid. It's the benefit of the POWW, SBI, RGR is the gun, and also the benefit of the Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, all in one beautiful stock handed to you on a silver platter there. Axon. And today it's like a breaking out, man. It broke out of these highs here at 220, 221. It broke out of 221. So you got all these beautiful tailwinds that I just explained for you. And it's got a big cup it's forming longer term. This looks like it's poised to make new all-time highs. Can you believe it in a market like this? All-time highs, $230. Okay. So from a swing perspective, this can make it to $230. I didn't have a specific catalyst today. All right. So we didn't make it a top 5 today, but you can see it's having a nice day. And a high price stock like this is really good for options. So Axon, going to be on our list every day. I think it's a valid kind of swing idea as well on the war theme. All right. Exxon we gave to you this morning as well. Did this make our top 5? I think it was number 6 in the morning. So got a big upgrade from Bernstein, or initiating a Bernstein. $140 price target. USO. Let's see what USO is doing right now. So USO, you can see. But you know what? It's really been moving. The truth is, Exxon, it's not because of this upgrade. It's XLE. All the energy stocks are up. The Exxon chart exactly matches this XLE chart. Why is energy up? Well, I don't know if stocks are making a rebound, if interest rates are going to, reverse, and people are going to have money to travel, but also maybe people are, again, bullish on the war, believe a war is going to happen. So maybe USO today is down, but they're thinking oil is going to be going up and going to be staying elevated because of more regional geopolitical conflict in the Middle East. Remember, oil production can be used as an economic weapon in this war. So for that reason, I think oil stocks, including USO, can be used as a hedge for any negative things, any negative consequences that may happen in the economy because of the war breaking out into regional conflict or larger conflict. Then USO oil stocks are also good. What's going on? Okay, Axon. Let's see. I got my eyes on a lot of things over here. POWW, our number 1 pick of the day over here. At the high of the day, I love that, 269. Let's see, can we make it all the way close to $3? That would be beautiful. It is getting there. I'm telling you. Nothing is for certain, but I would say it's a 90% chance we're getting to like 298. The question is it today, tomorrow, next week? I don't know. But man, I cannot stress for you enough. I spend a lot of time reading the news, right? That's where my trade ideas all emanates. It's all about market psychology. how is a particular catalyst going to be interpreted by all the other players out there, whether they're hedge fund managers, mutual fund managers, retail investors. That's my job, to look into the heads of other people, right? I used to have people criticize me like, I don't know what I think of myself. Like, you're going to predict what other people are thinking, but I got to tell you, I'm really good at it. Okay. I've been doing this for 25 years. I used to be a fundamental investor, used to be a purely technical trader, used to just trade headlines, used to just trade sentiment. I understand the perspective of different types of market participants, right? So I spend a lot of time digesting the news. I want to know what people think. I want to know how different people think. And I got to tell you, that's a long way of telling you that, as I said this morning, gun stocks, these stocks are going to freaking explode. I mean, it's just a matter of the path there. All right. Not only POWW, but all of them, right? Smith & Wesson, RGR. And if there's other ones about, you can tell me, but they're all going to freaking explode. I mean, I have never seen this kind of sentiment and this kind of, let's call it, empirical data that I'm seeing from not only social media, but just people I talk to in the real world about the demand for guns and ammunition could be multiples above what it's ever been in this country in the years I've been alive. Okay, it's insane. Never ever seen anything like it. I mean, ammunition, empirically, evidence being sold out everywhere. Everyone's loading. Everyone's packing, man. Especially by the border states, people are coming to their office. Everyone's carrying a gun these days. Every institution, not only synagogues, but also churches. Man, I was listening to a guy who runs like a mega church down in Texas. They're packing, man. Everyone's loaded. Everyone's buying guns. I mean, basically think of it like America's preparing for war. The population of America, forget about the defense stocks. The population of America, after seeing what they saw in Israel and knowing that our southern borders are open, they are preparing for war. They are. Hopefully they'll have to use it. But let me tell you, POWW, SWBI, RGR, these stocks are going up, and not just a little bit, by a lot. And this is not going to stop. There's no magical news that's going to come out tomorrow where everyone's going to calm down and then say, oh, okay, I guess I don't need to buy a gun anymore. That's not going to happen. What happened in Israel, those images that people are seeing, and the fact that, even if you fix the border tomorrow, guess what? Everyone already came in. If there's they're here already, most likely. If they're not here, that's what people think. People think the terrorists are already in this country because of the porous border. And now we see what they potentially could be capable of. There's no news in the world that can reverse the demand for guns and ammunition in the coming days, weeks, and months. And these stocks are all going up. They're going significantly higher, okay? So that's why POWW, top of our list, but why it was number one was because of the pre-market action. All right, we saw the pre-market demand. We saw the after-hours demand level. 250 was like a key level technically. And then just a little bit of a tail at 261 we had to break. So that happened intraday, and we're heading over to 3. Okay, that is the story with our number one pick, POWW. Man, every time I look at CYBR, I'm like, man, I got regrets. Why didn't I get into this? Look at this beautiful, man. I wanted to get in. We spent like a few minutes in the morning trying to get in. Oh my gosh. All right. Kicking myself over CYBR. Beautiful stock, also beautiful thesis as well, because not only the upgrade, but kind of a defense play as well. Look at Dollar Tree, beautiful. As we're talking, heading over to 116, Rexman's target, making a move towards 120. It cannot get to 120 today, can it? I doubt it. Unbelievable. That looks gorgeous. All right, we're having some fun today. All right, that's it, guys. So if you want to, let me see if there's any questions over at Rumble. I don't see any over there. I don't see any on YouTube. So we covered this at 9 a.m. before the market opened. We gave you POWW at $2.50. We gave you DRIO at $2.70. Actually, there was an ask at DRIO at $2.70. Well, we took it out, but it was only not a lot of shares. But all right, we gave you CYBR this morning at 9 a.m. At what price? Well, let's call it 169. Well, 168.5, something like that. We gave you Dollar Tree this morning at 112.50. All right. And Lockheed Martin, we gave you, didn't really, it could have worked out beautifully. 435 to 4. That was a hard one. Okay. All right. So 9 a.m. every morning, I put hours and hours and hours of work into this analysis. So if you want to be with us at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, just go to storytrading.com/app, install that free app. You can grab a free trial and join us for a VIP show every morning at 9 a.m. We'll see you then.